All right, welcome back this afternoon. Let me see, mic check, is it working? Yes, okay, welcome back this afternoon. We are going to do a trade room review, all of the trades from earlier there this morning. I'm going to review mine, and we've got something special. We're going to review Joseph James too. Let's go. Alrighty then, let's get down into our trade window now. Things look a little doubled here because remember, I'm basically going to be playing back my live stream from this morning. We are here live in the mornings at 9 a.m. and we play through the morning session. Remember, if you're new with us, I trade for 60 to 90 minutes or 5 trades, whichever comes first. We have a trade tracker. This is the digital version, or I have a physical copy that you can kind of see over here on the left-hand side. See my hand waving around there, bottom left-hand corner of your screen. This is 1080p. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. But I've got here on my desk a physical copy of that, and I kind of like both, but here on the live stream, it's easier for me to show you both, and you can have a digital copy there on our website, or you can print one out on the left-hand side, click under tips and tricks, and print your own as well. I'm going to zoom all the way in here now and get myself kind of out of the way. We're going to play through the trades from this morning on mine. We will review them. I will talk through how I executed on those, and then if you guys have questions, you can pop those in the chat as well. The way I'm going to do this, we've got one of our awesome members who works for us to set these up here with our timestamps. So if you want to go back to the live stream from this morning, go back and look at them yourself, or go back through some other details. They will generally be laid out with timestamps here on the left with some labels next to them. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to trade number 1. That says Power Moonshot and PRZ Cross. Let's click on this one and review the first trade. Now, stay till the end. I'm going to actually do some teaching and training as well, although you will probably learn how we approach things through this, because that's kind of the point, is to learn what we do along the way. But I'll also direct you to the documentation and get ready for tomorrow's live stream, if you're brand new, that you can come in with at least 3 strategies I want to get you loaded up with here tonight that you can literally learn in about 15 minutes here tonight, and you can come and participate with us and hopefully start out with a simulated account with us tomorrow morning in our live stream. Let's go through this first trade setup on trade number 1 in 7 minutes. Let's get the live stream on here this morning. Oh, I think I have it set to a little bit too fast here. Let me crank that playback speed down a little bit. Otherwise, I'll sound like a chipmunk. All right, there we go. This one, it was just too juicy. Had to give it a shot there. One trade in here this morning. Okay, so the first trade there this morning, this was actually before I'd even come on the live stream. This is a moonshot short with a PRZ cross short. Pretty clear. We've got a red 17.6 Enigma there to the left. Right back behind it, a PRZ cross showed up. A lot of confluence going on right there. We also had the prior low. Took that for a short for my very first trade before I got onto the live stream, but I was just mentioning that. So not a lot of drama around that one. Let's go ahead and go to trade number 2. Pretty easy trade for trade number 1. Let's go to trade number 2, where you can actually see me execute on that one. This one is a super moon plus a super dot. Let's take a look at that one. Range here right now, so pretty tight. The US Open, of course, could break that up. There's an Enigma short right here. We are on the short side. This pops back up here in just a moment. I will look to grab it. I'm looking for a Seuss entry here. Got a ready DD here as well. Okay, so what you'll notice here is I did not jump on that trade right away. Let me pause the music, because otherwise there's going to be dual musics going on there. Sorry about that. So right here, I'm looking for a short. Over here on the left, let's talk about our 2 steps. What do I need? Number 1, I need the nerd. The nerd is the MACV Ultimate. And why do we call it the nerd? Because this is the combination of the NASDAQ, the ES, the RTY, and the Dow. These are 4 correlated instruments if you are new with us. So I'm going to look over here. Step 1, do I have the nerd? Yes. Step 2, do I have the arrow? Now you can't see the arrow, but it's right over here on the right hand side of the chart. And later on, when I do a review of Joseph James trades here today that he talked about, you'll see him also using this same technique. So let's walk that through. But I hesitated initially because I didn't get on it immediately. We had a blue dot back behind it, and you heard what I said. I said I'm going to look for a Seuss entry after this play. Now, what do I mean by a Seuss entry? If you go through our training program, you will learn something called the Dr. Seuss entry. This comes from a old book from Dr. Seuss, where it was called One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. Now, the blue to red shift in the color bars is what I'm looking for. So I'm either looking for a blue to red or a red to blue. In this case, what I'm going to look for is blue, aka a blue bar coming up first, a blue, followed by a red. Now, when this event occurs, That is a Dr. Seuss entry. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to look for a red, and you can kind of start to see it right there. I paused the tape right here. It's starting to show. Now, I don't want to just take it immediately when that one shows up. I want to see it when that bar completes. So it actually draws the red arrow. That's what I'm looking for, waiting for that to start to play this. Now, there's a lot to learn from this play. As I recall, this one was one where it kind of added multiple times on this. So let's walk this all the way through. Looking for a short right here. Got the nerd, got the red enigma playing in right here. The little blue dot pressed it up into us here. I want to say little blue. That is a Fibella dot. That is a power dot to the long side. So I was a little bit nervous right there around it. So I wanted to make sure that I had a Dr. Seuss level entry. First target is going to be there at that 20 tick target down below. I believe I held this one out a little bit longer than that. Let's see how that goes. Wait for it. There's my red dot. Okay, now I have a switch dot here. This is what happened. This actually, as it comes through, this happened very quickly there this morning. I was looking for the play to enter anyways. I got a switch dot, red dot. However, it almost immediately pierced it. So that made me a little more cautious on this play, which is how you will see me. As soon as this occurs, now I've got to start rethinking my position because it didn't happen exactly as I expected it to. So now I'm already going to start thinking, well, how do I manage this play? So let's walk that through. Switch dot. I did just hear buyers here a moment ago, so I'm pretty close to, okay, we came back to neutral. Okay, so there was what I was hoping for earlier. I wanted to see the Dr. Seuss entry right there. We also got the dot, so that jumped me in ahead. So let me roll back real quick here. How many contracts did I initially have? Let's see, roll back, roll back. All right, so we start in, I believe it was 4 or 8. Let's see. Okay, no, I went full three-quarter position, initiating this. I didn't go full position. Remember, a full position for me is 16. Let's play. I immediately had my finger. I went straight to half because I saw it break through that red dot. So I was like, oh, shoot. But then buyers here a moment ago, so I'm pretty close to, okay, we came back to neutral. Okay, so what I'm mentioning here is as I see it come back to neutral, I start to see this developing, evolving R. It's kind of evolving in real time. Right here, the neutral had come up, so now I also have a little bit of less confidence in this play setup, so I'm starting to make sure that I've got my fingers over the triggers to exit the position. Remember, I have fingers on my hotkeys. On the left hand over here, I have my fingers over hotkeys on my keyboard, as well as the mouse that you're seeing over here, and you can see where I'm hovering with my right hand. So right hand you'll see on screen, left hand we'll have on hotkeys. Seuss. Okay, so you heard me say Seuss, or maybe you didn't hear it. It was kind of soft because I was just like Seuss. Sometimes in real time, I don't have, I can't really emphasize these things, which is why we come back and do reviews so you can hear me walk through and talk through what I was seeing and what I was thinking. So I said Seuss right there. Do you see the blue to red shift? If you do, type a 1. Type a 2 if you're new and you don't quite see it. But there is a blue bar in there, and what we talked about before, if I see a blue, then a red, or vice versa if I'm going the other way, but I'm looking for that blue to red shift. That is a Dr. Seuss. So you'll hear me just say it very quickly. I'll just say Seuss. So that's a Dr. Seuss add to add to that position. So now I'm in a full position here. And remember, on an Enigma, my first target I'm looking for is right there, that ET20, because in general, that is approximately a 20 tick target out of the box. Now you can set those to whatever you want there. These are adjustable. On the 4s, I have considered maybe moving this to a 40. However, that's only if we have the nerd with us. Right now, we're neutral. So I technically did not have that with me. So I'm still very cautious. I'm just walking you through what I'm thinking in real time. I was already cautious because we're neutral. We're no longer red. Market started to shift out of that nerd being in our favor, kind of starting to shift to a neutral area. So let's see how this played out. So right there, it was at about 20 ticks in my favor. Starts to come back up on me. Nope. Coming back to my POE, I'm going to have. Okay, so I go ahead and I half up there because I heard buyers on the tape. We also shifted neutral. Let me speed this up a little bit. I'm going to place at 1.5 speed here as we go through this. So I half the position. When it starts pushing up like that, and it didn't go straight to my target like that, and we already shifted to neutral, again, I can see maybe this is a big bear trap, and we end up doing some kind of weird push-up move. So I'm cautious. So I go ahead and I go half my position here using that half button right there, going ahead and taking some off as this starts to move up here. So let's listen through how we continue on this one.
Academic pension says decision to divest U.S. treasuries is rooted in poor U.S. government finances, not directly related to ongoing rift between the U.S. and Europe.
Okay. Now, I see that red bar. Why would I add right there? Same thing I just talked about before, right? So while I went half from earlier, remember I was at 16? So when I went half, that took off 8. So I'm back at 8. Now I'm trying to add back because I see what looks like to me to be a Seuss. Although you'll notice I kind of jumped the gun on that and I did not get filled. Got a red bar Seuss right there. Just missed my entry. Now I start to hear the sellers on the tape. If you start to hear the beats, I hear AlgoBox clacking. Okay, AlgoBox was on and it was, I hear the beats. The lowercase booms coming in. I hear those sellers. That's awesome. That's what I want to hear. So now I feel like my position is still valid. I really want to be targeting down there. I was hoping that I was up at 12 contracts. Not quite there yet, but you can see at this moment in time, still up 20 ticks on the play. But I'm just walking you through my thoughts on that. Now, I go ahead, and since I missed my entry up there, and I start to hear the sellers, I go ahead, and this time I hit the sell market button, so I guarantee myself to get in, because this one did not fill. I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to maximize the play if it's going to go down there and hit that target, because where I entered in at, I'm already up over 20 ticks here, even though we haven't gotten to that target. Sometimes that happens if you are getting into a better play position on your entry, which I am, because see, I am actually entered inside of my original entries were inside of the Enigma. Okay. All right, so let's play. Let's see if we get there. So tick counter now is at about 33 ticks. So when I start seeing 33, what's my T2? My T2 on a 4 is 40 ticks. So I'm now thinking, well, can I get 40 ticks all the way to 40 ticks out of this thing? That's where my brain immediately started to go when I got a nice, beautiful straight leg on this. I looked over here to the left and look, do you see how it shifted back to red for me? So I am trying to hold this out now, at least to a target 2 scenario, because now I have the red nerd came back with me. I've got the nerd with me now. I believe the red arrow was also with me. So instead of even trying for just a 20 ticker here, I'm trying to play this out to maximize it to go ahead and get that full 40, only because the nerd was with me. So keep that in mind. Almost to it. There's 36. Can I get 40 out of it? Okay, so you heard me even say it. Like, okay, can I get 40 out of it? At least this time I had the opportunity to say it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes the plays are too quick and I don't have the time to an opportunity to do it, so I walk them through there here with you when I'm doing the review. Now remember, this isn't just for you. I'm actually reviewing this for myself as well. You should be doing homework like this on your own. I do recommend you guys install that OBS software. It's free. Record your play setups, and just like a good footballer or baseball or basketball, they go back and they review the tape to get better. This is how you get better, watching yourself and improve on what you're doing. So even though, you know, the play works out, yeah, you kind of forget later on. You'll literally forget it in an hour. Okay, so you need to come back, play it again, and then look to improve. Even for myself, I'm like, okay, on this playback here, how could I have added to that? Well, that one I could have punched in earlier. I could have punched in right here. There's things that I can look for on that. And I think this one actually played out longer. I could have held this to an opposing signal. Let's see if that's true. There's 41. All right, I'll close it right there. No, so I was a little bit nervous about it. I saw 40 on the tick counter, and I went ahead and closed out the position as we hit the official Enigma target. Now, I'm early in the trade count. When I think about this too, other factors that are playing in my mind is, where am I at in the trade count? Now, technically, yes, I'd already taken a trade right before I had come on to the live stream there. So I was technically on trade number 2, but it felt like to me like it was trade number 1. So sometimes that can play into my decision-making process. I want to put some money on the boards for my first couple of trades. So I am a little bit more cautious on those first 2 trades. I want to bank first so that I've got some of that extra cushion for me to work with. In general, that's just how I think through. Okay. Here for 40 ticks. Nice. 2 Enigmas here this morning. Trade number 1, trade number 2. We're at 3,500 before. All right. So let's go to our next trade. So I'm going to scroll down here and let's see trade number 3. Let's see. We marked a small bull. The blue song comes to mind. All right. Here we go.
Lower bands touch NQ on the 39.
2 minutes still to the open. We need to mark that big bull. Actually small bull. It's 500. So small. Okay. So this should catch your attention. Whenever you see this in our play setups, I like to mark these. If it's 500 or 1,000, this is big or small. So small bull is 500. Big bull is 1,000. And I don't care if it's green or red, we are looking for small or big, bear or bull. Okay, in this case, this is bull, it's green. So I'm gonna mark that up. I mark the area, and then in general for a small, I'm going to find the middle of the leg that it was created on. So that spike correlates to this straight leg right here. So I'm going to find the middle of it, and then I want to measure out 125 ticks. Now this is for the NASDAQ. This will vary if you are on other instruments, but you want to mark those accordingly. In NQ, the middle of this will be right here. And now I want to mark out 125 ticks above that, and I'm going to look for another area up here because this is where these bulls like to play. They'll run that about 125 ticks before they take their profits on that. So oftentimes I want to plan out for that. I'll mark up that 125 to look for that next area. It reiterates. Okay, boring stuff, but there it is. So I mark out the big bull. I mark out the 125. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I do there if you are walking through and understanding our system. Now, you will learn that in the defense leg area. So if you'll look up defense leg, if you type that into your notes there, look for how to play the defense leg, and that is in our documentation section. If you go to our website there and click on the top, you can head over to our documentation area, and there's full walkthroughs including screenshots and giffies, and then there is a short and a long explanation video at the bottom of our documentation. Okay, let's go to trade number 3, power PRZ cross. Here in buyers, step in there. There was a headshot short right in there. Okay, there's what should be an entry here. I'm gonna go ahead and toe in the water here. Now this is where I already know I'm making mistakes. I can hear the buyers hardcore stepping on the gas here. Okay, this is my mistake play. I'm going to beat myself up about this play. Now, yes, I did. I played well in that I only went in toe in the water here. However, while yes, this is the 1, 2, 3, this is the third one, and this one is +1, if you know our defense leg strategy scenario, that it is just one number greater than the prior, I can take that short. However, look at this. Do I have the nerd with me? No, I do not. So I already know this is riskier. I should not be entering in right here, especially because I got two things going against me right here. I hear the buyers stepping in on the tape, and I've got this one. So this was me just basically going, oh, I see the 3, and we went into my red zone. I jumped the gun on this. I should not have. I should have avoided this one to begin with, but let's watch this play out. This is the one I had to work through. That's number 1. Okay, now did you notice it actually went 20 ticks? So let's roll back. Remember what I said a minute ago, where as long as I'm a T1, if I get a good play like that against the nerd, which ended up going all the way to strong buy, I can T1 it. So did it go 20 ticks? Let's roll it back, and I'm going to slow it down this time. I believe it did. I think I just saw it flash on there. Let's see. There was a headshot short right in there. Okay. I think it's also because I saw a headshot short right in front of that too. It had me already looking for it. Entry here. I'm going to go ahead and toe in the water here. There's 9. There's 13. 20. There it is. Now, but look where my hand is. Okay. So right hand, if I've got the right hand over the sell, my left hand needs to be over the close, but I think I was in the middle of talking at the same time. This is one of those where I call it extreme pressure. I do not recommend anybody try to live stream and try to trade at the same time. I should be bailing on this position right now. Lock this in your head. Why? That's T1. Okay. So I have target 1. I should have taken my profits right then, right there. Now, this is where using an ATM is probably wise. I have pulled mine off mainly because the fact that I am on a live stream, I just don't have enough time to react and walk through and talk through and move things, because if I did need to move or adjust, I have found it's easier for me to just use the buttons while I'm talking at the same time. But if you're doing this, I would recommend you keep the ATMs turned on, use your ATM, have that ATM set to target 1, target 2, play it the right way, especially if as soon as this starts to go against you, go over there, grab the ATM, make sure that you're on it. But I believe this went 20 ticks, and I think it came almost immediately started coming back. Let's see if it went 21 or not. I doubt it. Yeah, no, it literally only went 20 ticks. Now remember, it's 20 ticks from the center of the meat of the cross entry, right? So target 1, we had it. However, this came too quick. You heard very powerful buying coming in. It's right around the open as well. So, you know, I'm coaching myself here on this. I should have closed out this trade when it hit that 20 ticks, or even when I saw it touch and then it comes right back to my POE, should have just cut it immediately. But this thing started going so quick. I'm sitting there trying to talk, I think, to here goes this play coming against me here. Number 1, remember, let me get it off of the slow motion speed there. 1, 2, the third one. Yeah, I'm over there like counting 12. There is the super AO. There's another red. Okay, so now this thing is moving up super quick. So I add on the super AO. I think I added on this cross as well. Okay, now there's an enigma. Okay, now I've got, you notice I have my hand in the right place. I've got my finger over the half so that I can start exiting this position. But I'm also, what you'll notice is as the position is working, oh, you guys can't see me. I'm waving my hand around over here, but I have my camera off. Let me see if camera turn back on there. Okay, so my left hand, okay, can you guys see me over here now? Yeah. So my left hand, I've got on my hotkeys on the left, so I can work the position, but my main thing is to be able to bail on this position. When a position is working against me, I need to have my strong hand ready to go, getting me in or out of the position. That's what's going on there. So as you see the position increasing, that's me using the hotkeys on the left. Enigma, got the enigma added on the added there. Now I'm trying to, I added several times on the, so I see a Seuss again, can't even talk through it because it was going super fast. While this says it was great speed at the time, I'm pretty sure it was just, that was slightly behind because we hadn't printed enough bars for it to tell us this is definitely too fast. This speed came in, it just happened to have started right here at this moment. Market opened up there and just went absolutely wild. This is, you know, I'm banking on this enigma getting me to my POE. Now, when I'm trying to get to my POE, my first thing I want to do, as soon as I reached my, if I think that there's going to be a play in something, regardless of whether I think it's going to work or not, I need to bail when we start getting at or even near. And I say at or near because you'll see another play later today where I do it near and go ahead and take a small loss on it. But if it comes back to my POE and it's gone more than, for me, if it's more than 30 ticks, I'm already going to half up the position. A position for me should not go against me more than 30 ticks, in my opinion. That's just how I do it on the 4 level. I want a low time frame risk, high time frame opportunity for the reward. So I got my finger over the half here. As soon as it touches my POE line, when you hear me say POE, I'm talking about point of entry. Okay, so finger over the half, see if it gets there. Now, whenever that shows up, that makes me a little bit nervous here. Whenever a green cross shows up like that, that is a power AO right there. It matched up 7-2 and a 7 right here. So let's watch this through. I'm gonna take a loss here. Yeah, I went ahead and took the loss. So you'll notice I did not wait all the way till it coming back to my POE because I have seen this too many times. When it comes back this far, I'm going to go ahead and take about an 18 tick loss here on this as I close half the position. So I'm taking not a full loss, but I'm taking half of the loss here at a minus 18. Everybody got it? If you get it, type a 1, 2 if you're new. I'm going to bail on some of that position right there because, again, if this thing starts to run, I'm managing my position. This is like something that you just have to develop the skill. I would actually, if I were you, go back and play market replay on this and try this yourself. Practice this because this is something that I have done a lot of times. So for me, it's reactionary and I can do it quickly, but you need to get to a point where you do that. That's why I say to get in market replay and practice these. Roll it back, play it again, roll it back, play it again. Or do like what I'm doing right here, record yourself. Or you know what? The good news is you can actually take this skill from me, maybe practice pressing the buttons on your keys while I'm doing it right now. Feel yourself do it. Go back and play the tape and then press the buttons while you're watching the video might be another way to substitute that. Okay, watch this.
39.
I'm gonna take a loss. Okay, take the loss here, take half there as we come into that 7 just in case.
NQ on the 89.
Okay, now boom, it rips up there so fast and I get another Enigma. Now I would want to add to that position. I can tell I couldn't react. I was sitting there talking too much or whatever. My, you know, even my brain's just not fast enough to talk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I get a nice Enigma like that, I should be adding right there. I missed my add. I think I end up adding, but it's like way late. I get a bad entry on this, I believe. Another Enigma. Yeah. So look how bad that entry is, right? I add way down here. So I think it was like 20 ticks. So 20 tick, bad entry, and then gnarly, I end up being a green dot show up right there. Basically bad. I just remember thinking, oh crap, like that could keep on going. All right, carry on. Y'all are like, okay, Vinny, we get it. Add to position.
NQ on the 99.
Okay, so I'm adding, and then I add again on the Seuss right there.
9. Double delta NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Half my POE. Now, because I didn't get great entry right there, and I was already nervous, we got the blue, green dot and green dot. Every one of those was holding. The green dot kind of reacted. Another green dot right here. It did, like, there's little, it's kind of breaking up right here. If this flashes back here in just a minute, that will probably come back. There is a green dot right here. Green dot also reacted. This tells me bulls are still in control here. We got a double dot here, and they're reacting to all of them right here. So I mitigate it once again, and I pull off half. This plays both directions. You'll see me do this a lot. I'm going to press half at the POE. If you're going to write something down in your notes, put this in the cornerstone of your mind. If a price comes back to your POE, for me, I am half as confident in the play, so I want to press the half button at POE, okay? Might want to just write half at POE, might be a good way to remember it. Put it, maybe put a little note somewhere on your thing, half at POE, and you'll remember later what that means. It can be both. If I'm coming back down to my POE, I'm pressing half. If a play comes back all the way to my POE, I might also pull half, okay? So I'm pulling half, comes back, peel half. Now I see this, I believe that's 11.0. That is a very large alpha omega cross, and right here in this section, that is the 1, 2, 3. So I believe this is the one that ends up really giving me the confidence to go ahead and let's go in at this one more time. I believe, I can't recall, but let's see if I add on that position. So while I halved at POE, I see this. Now I can re-add. Now again, I'm not doubling the position here. It's a difference in the size of my add versus taking off half of the position. Half. Now I'm going to add as this 11 shows up.
NQ on the 59. NQ on the 39.
Super fast action right there.
Fib.NQ on the 30.
Oh, I didn't add. I should have.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89 on the 4. Enigma short on the RTY1. Double delta NQ on the 4.
3 M shares down 4.
Okay. So, bummer. It was too fast for me, right? Because as this came back up, fine, half off POE, but I should have added right there. So this is me beating myself up here on this and my own trade review. As that comes up, I should have added right there because this could have been a bigger play to help me out. Even though, yes, I'm up, plus 62 on it right now. I needed more contracts on that, right? So bummer, I missed that. And if I had added right there, and if I was Johnny on the stick, right, real fast on it, I could have also, boom, as that hit right there, I could have peeled off half, again, taking profits right there. And then as the position moves up, let me shrink my little dot right here. As the position moves up, now right here, I could have added on a Seuss and then exited more again on this PRZ cross. So hindsight 2020, and of course, it was moving so fast. I don't know that even if I wasn't on a live stream, if I could have reacted that quickly, but that's what I want to do. So I'm going to roll this back a couple times for myself later on just to see. So we come in here, sure, close out half here, boom, should have added right there, taken off half right here, added right here, take off half again right here. That's the way I should have done this. So again, this is a trade review for myself, playing the video game. Let's go. Boom. Now, I finally go ahead and start. Did I add right there? Hold on. Yeah, so I add way late on this.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
But I believe what happens on the right-hand side of the screen, I have a high time frame setup that shows up on the right that gave me the confidence to go, okay, this might have some extra ticks in it. Let's see.
3 M shares down 41%.
Okay, so as it breaks through the back of this, I'm thinking piercer. So as this pierces, mind you, before, if every one of these is holding, I'm looking for the first break of a green. So this pierces, so I'm taking this as a piercer play. Now, if you don't know what the piercer is, head over to our documentation. I'm going to type it in right here. Actually, let me duplicate this because I do want to come back to that one. I'd save that for us to go over at the end. All right, so piercer. So the piercer play right here. Go walk this one through. If you're going through our notes here tonight, go check out the piercer on that play here. So adding in on the piercer. Continuing. Now, I'm pulling half as we come in to touch S1. That happens so fast. I know it's so hard to see, but I'm adding on the piercer. And the distance from there to there, you know, it doesn't seem like very much, but that is a lot. That's probably about 30 or 40 ticks all the way down to S1. I'm going ahead and starting to peel my position as we approach this zone that I had drawn earlier, where, remember, the big bull wants to push it up and above this area. That's why we had marked it up from before. So I want to start to look to exit my position there. I peel half and I go ahead and close out the rest as we come all the way down to S1. No surprise, green dot shows up, starts to move it up. I know this was super fast, and that's why I wanted to run over this. The markets are not always this fast. Today happened to be one of those super fast days. High VIX, more ticks. That's just how we play. Okay, I believe that was the end of that play. I think I show something over on the right later this afternoon on that play. All right, switch dot, so we end up having green up, red dot, push it back down. Back into the red zone from prior. Did we have any other big bulls in there? We did. Okay, I thought I was going to bring over something from the right. Somewhere in here, I think. Let's see if I bring over the right-hand chart. Because there was... sometimes the market is moving so fast when I'm sitting there trying to react. Yeah, I don't think I was able to. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Trade 4, Super Dots, Enigma. That might have been several on this one.
Double delta NQ on the 4, delta NQ on the 9.
No, this is a new one. Okay. Trade number 4 here.
Enigma short on the NQ4.
Okay, there's an Enigma. Okay. Basically, I'm entering in on this Enigma. We have get ready twice. We have get ready, get ready. Now, I have a super dot right there, but I'm looking over here. We're at neutral. If that was red at the time, I probably could have gone ahead and added on that dot, but didn't get it. So, patting myself on the back here a little bit for that one. But now I get an Enigma. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Enigma. Looks like I go 3/4 position. It's been working out really well here this morning.
NQ on the 9. NQ on the 4.
I should have added on that red dot. Oh no. Okay. So I didn't take the initial profit. Yeah, super fast, right? This is too fast to really react easily on these. It does go to its target, but then look what shows up. That is an Enigma in the opposite direction. Now, if I'm super quick and I'm thinking possibly going to the long side, I might have gotten that long. Okay, we're neutral. We had touched to the buy side already, and sure enough, I believe this Enigma launches this thing, but I go ahead and take a loss on this play. Switch dot scenario there in that zone, killing it, taking a loss on that.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
We came to red, back to neutral, tricky spot. Yeah, very glad I did that, right? So... technically speaking, that should have been a winner. I could have taken off and gotten my target 1. We're in neutral. It's iffy. I don't have to hold to target 1 on one where I'm neutral, but looking in a spot like that where we had been back and forth, when I'm looking at it in hindsight, it should have been very clear to me. Hold to the Enigma target, and that's it. I was trying to be a little greedy, looks like there, and holding out for more. Thought we might be able to, if I was going to do that though, I should have added on that red dot. Should have added on that red dot and come back and touched exiting on that target. I could have gotten the target and still been safe exiting before that Enigma cipher launched this beast. That's probably over. That's like 125 ticks almost instantly. So bulls had definitely been hanging out in that area still, ready to shove it on. Let's go and take a look at the next trade. Super dot for trade number 5.
NQ on the 39.
Okay, up in the top of, okay, there's my super dot at the top of a channel. So on a play like this, as soon as I see it in a ready DD, my stop is going to go above the text. So mentally, stop's going to go right there at the top of that ready DD on a dot. Now, you can just close it out as a dot break. Okay, if the dot breaks, it should have, if the dot was there, and it end up pushing through, cracking it. This is the only repainting indicator in our entire batch is the dots. Okay, everything else, there's no repaint. The dots will repaint. This one broke, disappears. Technically, piercer to the long side. I hear buyer stepping in. Over here on the left, I see buy. I was already nervous about this. I had my finger over the close. I don't know if I even made profits on this one. Let's see. Ticks. Okay. Not good. There's a level 19. Yikes. Big. Okay, so I should have my fingers over the close and half right now as this position worked through. A lot of just non-stop popcorn buying here. I see a super AO coming in on my... I can't even talk it through. Anyway. Super AO on the optimized range. Only reason I'm still kind of giving this a little bit of a shot here on the optimized range. Okay, so what I'm talking about on the optimized range, you can't see it on this screen, but I'm going to bring it over. There was a big high time frame play. Super AO on the optimized range. Let's play it through. So I take bigger risk. There it is. So holding in for bigger risk play opportunity there because this is coming in on the 39 range, optimized range, telling me I still might have an opportunity here. This is the only play of the day where I go full max. So max for me is 50 contracts. That is my personal max. Coming up on max 50. So there I'm at 48.
Grow the UK economy is the right one.
Add again as I see. So up here on the high time frame, this develops, and this is so nice in hindsight looking at it. So you got the super AO, get ready, boom, another nice little head fake to the upside, get the bulls off sides, divergence fires off, tells me internals are shifting, get a nice opportunity to come down. Now, when a play has gone against me, what should I be thinking as this approaches my POE? Everybody should be saying, hit the half button, right? Hit the half. So I should be thinking, hit the half. Do I have my finger in the right place? Yes, I do. Yay. So I can't beat myself up about this one. I have my finger in the right place. I am ready to exit this position. If we start coming down here, we come to my POE, I can half here or close out the whole position. Let's see. It's a good one. Who wouldn't think that growth was a good idea? Okay. Now, I think I actually hit this before it hit my POE because, again, if this had launched back up, I do not want to get offsides and get some big red position on that scenario. So go ahead, and I believe I punched it beforehand. It's hard to see because this was, again, the market was moving too fast to really see too much that was going on in this area. But I am halving up as it comes through there. So got some slippage on that. So going to be a loss on the first batch of that. I can't remember if this thing continues to run down or not. Let's see. Some loss here on pulling half as we approach the POE. Now, after I take my half, if a position doesn't immediately reverse and go back up against me, now my left hand, okay, my left hand should be ready. I got a finger spread like this. My thumb is going to be over the close, and for me, I use my middle finger usually for the sell button. So I've got the sell spread over here, ready to tap that sell, and I've got my right hand on the half, and I'm looking to add to position if I get a play, if the position is starting to work my way.
Double delta NQ on the 4. Two finger NQ on the 39.
Okay. Oh, I was like, why am I? Okay. So I shifted my order counts back to my normal size because to be able to tap out and do an even 50 earlier, I had to bump it to 2. So I come down here, I bump it to 4s, getting ready to add to my position. So I'm ready. I wish I could have done it faster, but here we go. It pops up and gives me another. Now get your finger back over the half, bro. I think I just start seeing, dude, this thing's going 100 ticks in my direction. I'm like, man, I wish I could be bigger on the play. Now, I did add there. I added 1. Yeah, because I'm at 25. So I do tap my hotkey here as I start to hear the drilling. And by drilling, I'm talking about the audio box. I hear the beats coming in, and I press it. It pops up and gives me another entry. Pops up and gives me another entry. There it is. Okay, so yes, I had set it right there on the, looks like is that a Gartley? Yeah, I need to move the text forward, but I believe that is a Gartley. So I get a Gartley harmonic right there for the add. So I add to position as it comes back up, taps the Gartley, add to position. This thing is still drilling. I am hearing the drilling, and it's a thrill because we also got the shift into neutral. If that goes red, I'm over there just licking my chops. This is going to be a huge play. I'm super excited about a play when it does something like this. Here's my cipher entry. All right, I'm gonna close it up right there. Okay, now I hold to the opposing signal, and What's that right there? High time frame. That is a big, juicy golden rope, right? That is a monster EMA. That is going to be that's the top side one. So that is a 50 MA. A lot of things happen right there. A lot of exchange of hands right there. And I don't want to see some kind of blast off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the position there. Huge, huge play there with a max entry. So that's going to put me at 11K at that point of the day. Let's see what else we talked about there at that moment. Over 10K on the move. That is a huge move from top. Okay, now, if I'm not over there, you know, high-fiving myself or thinking through the play, or feeling obligated to, you know, walk through, talk through, there's another ad right there. So we get to get ready. I've got the RTFA event right back behind. Now, oftentimes you'll actually see this in JJ's plays that we're going to review here after I'm done with mine. But normally the structure will show up first and then an R2FA. This one, I've already got the R2FA right here. Now I just look for the structure. Easy enter on the dot. So one of those spots where could have added on the dot here if you're still continuing that play. I'll take it. So we hold the position. If we want to exit on that shark, we can. That distance from that dot to that shark, that's still about another 30 ticks between there. Let's see. Do we have another shot here? Still moving too fast here. Super fast action here. The bots are in negative territory, unfortunately.
Enigma short on the NQ3. Enigma short on the NQ on the double.
Okay. Now remember today there was like some tariff talk and stuff like that. So a lot of things adding to the excessive volatility that came in today. There's an Enigma, came too fast, literally hardly any way to react to that. This is where you might want to have the full auto and over on the left, go ahead and go take the next play type of scenarios, maybe enable only short side. There's a lot of things that we can do with that, but we'll go over that in some other videos. We've done a lot on full auto. We have full auto Fridays. Maybe we can cover that then. Okay, so let's go back down here and we got trade number 6. We did 5 with a super dot. We had the moonshot. Did we see this one? Okay, nope, this is our next play. So it says moonshot.
Enigma short on the
Enigma short.
double del.
Okay. So first, I'm already getting in on the Enigma, but then we get a power cross right here as well. So now I have a power moonshot and a ready DD. So this is actually a super power moonshot short right here. And the trickiest part about this one, though, when I'm looking at hindsight, I thought we had red in our favor. We did not. So this one worked out for us, but now that I'm looking at it, I can see the nerd was not with me on this play.
Delta.
I'll grab it. Super AO, add to position. And there's another 4. Okay. So I think I blink over to the left and I can see, okay, I don't have that with me, but that is still holding to an opposing signal. It was, man, that came down pretty quick. How many ticks did I get on that? Let's see. Shot long right there.
Enigma short on the
Enigma short.
double delta.
I'll grab it. Super AO, add to position. And I added to position on the Super AO. 58 ticks. I see 58 right there. That's 58. So this little number right there, 58 ticks. And 65 ticks. There's another 40. Okay. Now, notice my finger was still over the cell, but my thumb, remember those hotkeys. This is the beauty of having those hotkeys there, folks. Have those hotkeys. I am telling you, playing this video game, look, you might not need this most of the time. Most of the time, you don't need any of this. But can you see why on a day when the market is too fast, the market is moving quick, you want those hotkeys? Can you see it? If you do, type a 1, 2 if you're new, 3 if you're just here to troll me. Do we have any trolls here? Can you play this ATM strategy or too risky? I don't see why you couldn't. You probably have to adjust. It depends. It really depends on what. I mean, everybody's different, right? If I tell you, can you? I don't know. Are you? How fast are you? Like, I don't know you, right? No, I can't tell anybody what they should do. Could I? Yes. Could you? I don't know, right? You asking me, can we do something like this? Like, I don't tell anybody what they can do. I'm here to show you how I do it. If you want to do it, up to you, right? If this is too fast for you or you can't do something, you don't. And by the way, you don't have to. You could just go up to the 6s and wait this stuff out or play the higher time frame. You do not have to do this stuff. I'm just showing you how I maximize what I do, right? You're like, how did you do 21,000 today, Vinny? How did you do 21K? How did you do that? You're watching how I do it. Now, do you have to make 21K a day? Are you happy and satisfied if you made 1K today? Are you happy if we made the 2K? Like the first 2 plays of this morning were easy, right? Those first 2 were kind of slow. You're up 3,500 on the day, right? You don't have to play when the market is super fast like this. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. But I'll tell you, if you ever do want to be able to do this, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't do that, so I don't want to do it. Everybody can't until they can. Just write that down. Everybody can't until they can. People say that's impossible. Well, good. I'm glad you said that. You know why I like it when people say it's impossible? If you haven't heard this one before, look, this is your day. Put this one somewhere on your wall. Literally says, I'm possible. So yeah, go ahead. Say it's impossible. Because yeah, it's absolutely possible. Anything is possible, my friend. Anything is possible. It's whether you believe it and whether you practice it. Once you get in here and practice, could I have done this years ago? Probably not. Probably not. I have had a lot of practice now, and those hotkeys. Hotkeys is a cheat. So while I didn't develop the hotkeys until, I don't know, what did we do? We implemented the hotkeys scenario 2 years ago. So could I have done this 3 years ago without the hotkeys? I don't know. I don't think so. But anyhow, so sorry to be, you know, I'm not trying to be negative on it, but I'm just going, I don't know. I don't know if you could do it right now. Where are you? Now, if I saw you practice, if you want to record an OBS session, record it, put it out there and let me review on it, like I can probably get an estimate on what you can do, what you can't do kind of thing. And what's your play set up at your house? Do you have this set up? Do you have, did you set up the 4K screen in front of you, the 43 inch, like I tell people to do? Get that 43, because a 43 is literally like, it's 4 monitors in one. You know, I don't know what you are doing, what your setup is. So, but if you want to follow the way that I would do it, I lay it all out in the boot camp. 8 videos. Check it out. And while they're free, because they're not going to be free literally on February 1st. See this at the very, very, very top here? It says access the boot camp at no cost before the price goes live. The price is going live. It will be a pay for thing February 1st. So go get it right now. Do a 2-week free trial right now, because the trials are also going to be paid. The boot camp is going to be paid. So go grab it right now while it's free on me. Okay. Hopefully you guys are getting something from it. Let's play. Next play. Was it trade 6? I think that's the one we might have just done. Okay, yeah, that's trade we just did. Let's go to trade number 7. Is a power moonshot. 7 minutes past the U.S. Open. Oh yeah, so another one comes up just seconds later. So here was our last play right there. And I mean, not very long later, because again, super fast. You do not have to play while it's this fast, folks. You do not have to. Remember, I am just reviewing what did happen today. You don't have to do anything. Nobody's telling you. You're not forced to. You do not have to play this way. You can literally wait for the easy stuff. You can wait until the psychology module says we have great speed and play when you have great speed or valid speed. No problem. Okay. So I get a mega late Nate plus a power moonshot short right there. Do you see it? You see it? Type of 1, 2 if you're new. All right, here we go.
On the NQ3.
Okay, smart. I already have my finger all the way to the half, so I enter in on my first set with the button. Now I'm shifting my mind to hotkey. I see myself down here in my little viewer there. Hotkeys ready. Finger over half. They've been doing me well. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm at 3/4 position. Target here. I'm going to go ahead and close it up there. Not going to get too greedy on it. Another play. Okay. I'm not sure. Oh, I was like, why did I close that out? I'll tell you why. Look at that. Smart man, Vinny. Here, teach the class, bro. Come teach the class. Target 1. Why? Because the nerd is against me. Okay. I'm not trying to be greedy, right? Yes, that one worked out and I could have held it to the opposing signal, but I closed out ahead of time. Target 1. I saw more than 20 ticks plus. Let's see when I started to close it. I don't even know. Okay. Boom. Immediately start to go to the short side. I go 3/4 position. Hit finger over half. I probably see that strong buy out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, okay, T1 only. They've been doing me well. I'm just going to go ahead and let's see. 8. So my eyes are on the number. There it is. 20 ticks. So my brain triggers at 20 ticks. I'm like, okay, that's profit. Let's see what I do here. Do I get any more than 20? I'm going to go 23. So at 23, I'm out of the position. Okay. Now I could have halved right there. Like looking in hindsight, sure. However, no, like it's too dangerous. That market could have faked down and done this. You know, it could have, right? We've seen markets do that. Stop above the Enigma, mental stop. I really want that. If we break above that Enigma, we're out. Okay. This should turn at these levels if they're good plays. And there's a scenario in here today. We actually walked back. It was like 6 Enigmas in a row. And then before there was a final loser on one. And then it was like 9 in a row. Enigmas were perfect today. Amazing plays. Go ahead and close it up there. Not going to get too greedy on it. Another play on the day.
It's over 4.
And yeah, now that would be amazing if I'd held all the way there. That's about 100 ticks all the way to that 12.3. That's your 100 tick play right there, all the way holding to a 12.3 there. But am I going to tell me or anybody else to do that? No, not against strong buy still, because 4 of the nerds are to the long side there. So yeah, that's dangerous. Okay, let's see our next play here. Bots are having a rough day. Super moon plus the dot. Is that the one we just did? Nope. Okay, this is another one. This says super moon plus a dot. Oh, I don't remember this one. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take that all day. Oh yeah. So here's our last play. Right? Came down, sure. Then boom, an Enigma to the long side. Okay. Again, I'm not a long side player in general. I am a short side player. I talk about this whole concept of pick a side. If you want to get really good at one side or the other, you can do that. I consider myself to be a bear. Bear side moves faster in general, slow to the upside, fast to the downside. So if you like the slower plays, maybe choose the buy side. You can be a buy side player. A lot of professional players pick a side. You'll hear people, if you're in conversations with professional traders, you ask them like, hey, are you a buy side player or a sell side player? And they'll tell you. Okay. I'm going to take this pretty much every single time. I mean, just another one. Enigma got a power Fibella dot with it. We got to get ready. We got an R2FA event right there. Get ready. Plus R2FA. Plus that. I mean, there's all kinds of confluence right there. I'm going to take that play. Even with strong buy. Now, I'm still going to be thinking 20 ticks, right? I'm not trying to hit a home run because the market's not with me. All right. I'm going to take it. They've been doing me well here this morning. So I go half position. Okay, I'm at 8. Got my finger over the half. I'm at 16 ticks there to the target, looks like.
Upper band's touch.
And there it goes 20, and I close the position. Oh, it looks like looks like 38 before I start hitting it. Okay, so almost goes 40 ticks. I might have actually seen a flash of 40, and then I'm closing the position. Okay, half position, hold to a target 2 scenario there. Pretty good. If the market happens to hand it to me when I've got the strong buy against me, hey, so be it. All morning, again, I'm a bear side player, so if you know the drill for that, there we go. Anyway, he was like, well, how come we don't take the long side, man? Like, now that ends up going down to a dot. So if you hold to the opposing signal, another one of those, that's probably like 80 ticks to that. I don't know if it's a full 100, but probably 70 to 80 ticks down to if you're holding to the opposing signal on a runner. But how? It was so fast. I don't know how you would hold through that and close it, and then it immediately launches back up and out of there. There was so much volatility going on at that time. So would definitely be tricky to be able to do that. But the ideal would obviously be to hold to T1, maybe hold out a runner. You'd have to, there's all kinds of things. You'd have to be, are you going to close out when it comes right back to your POE? Make sure you close out for sure if it comes back above the Enigma. So for me, I just have a rule for myself. If I'm going to play against this, look, I'm happy with 20 ticks, 20, 40 tops. I'm good with that. Makes sense. And you can make plenty of money doing that. It's going to be a really great lesson to talk about here today at 10 o'clock. We're going to get into our lessons. Okay, let's go to our next play. A lot of stuff to learn there from today. Super power, headshot, mega late Nate. In my opinion, a lot of ticks as a low time frame scalper.
Long on the NQ3. Fib.NQ on the 4.
Okay, that's a power head. Okay, power headshot and a mega late Nate. I can see it. You see it? If you see it, type of 1. 2 if you're new. Got it? Mega late Nate plus power headshot short. Yes? With the mega late Nate short. And now it becomes super. And oof, I'm late on it. If I haven't entered in yet, oof, I don't know how this one works out. I don't remember. Should be a short right there. I'm just kind of a little bit not wanting to give anything back to the markets there. That one was a little bit tricky, but not really. Came up fast, right into it.
Fib.NQ.
Let's measure that move down. Might have been 100 ticks. Almost 84 ticks. Okay, so I wasn't able to react to that one. Should have. That moved it down 84 ticks. Nice play, but I did not take that one. But good one to talk through. Super operators. Trade 9. Super power headshot. Let's take a look. Was there a time Okay, super power headshot. Basically, almost this one again, but without the mega late Nate. And yeah, see, buy side, this is why, again, you don't want to hold too long, right? So while that may have hit, then boom, look, right, all the way up and at him. Can I still play? Yes. Do I want to be target wanting when we're against strong buy? Yes. Schedule on that. Okay, another spot where I might want to take a grab. I'm going to toe in the water here on this. That is just too juicy to pass out there. Okay. The thing goes instantly 45 ticks. Okay, sure, bro. Let's take it. Targets filled. Let's go. I was gonna say easy dropout. Yeah, easy one. So this one was like, that one, bingo, easy. Power headshot, super power headshot short, right? Why is it super? Because it had a ready DD. That's super. Why is it a power? Because this is not a white cross. It is a power alpha omega cross. Then it is a headshot, which is a combo of a Fibella dot plus the RTFA event. The RTFA event here is a power alpha omega cross. Beautiful. Okay, that was me talking it through from this morning. Hey, I love taking a minute. So thanks Vinny. Real-time protection off. Trade 10. Power, super power headshot. Let's go to that one. Nines. Still hearing buyers all over it. That's a headshot. I'm gonna go ahead and toe in the water on that. Got my finger over the close if it's not gonna go. Got a divergence right back behind that super AO. Ready DD. Little half position. Stop above the ready DD right here. Well, they're running it up. Super AO. Adding to position here. Now I'm on a full position. I'll show you what's going on the right. Can't move the chart right now. Gotta keep my fingers over the triggers here. Yeah, I don't remember this one. And there's an Enigma add. Yeah, I'm like, add, bro. Add. There's your level 15 right there. Okay, good. I did.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 39.
Missed my entry. Now I should be half if he hit POE. Let's see if I half at POE.
Upper bands.
Okay. Oh, Vinny. That crossed your POE, bro. It came against you. I hope. I don't remember. I don't remember this play. I hope I half here. Full half. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right, I was about to have to kick my own butt. All right, yes. When a play comes up against me, we come to my POE. I'm at least halving that. Okay. And man, I mean, technically, now we get all that right there. I should probably just close the position there. Hold the opposing signal. That is your opposing signal. That is a get ready, ready, double greens. Look out. That thing could launch, man. Like, bail. I don't know. I mean, I'm screaming at myself. I don't remember what I did on this play, but I'm already yelling at myself, like, close the position, bro.
NQ on the 4. Double delta NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 4.
That's so dangerous. Yeah, bro. Oh, I don't know if this ends up turning into a negative or not. I don't recall this play, but let's see.
NQ on the 9.
Yeah, it's coming against you, bro. That's a freaking super duper.
Upper bands touch.
Okay. Okay, you got lucky, bro. You got lucky that came back down. Anyway, but yeah, hold the opposing signal to close it out. 21,404 on the day. Now, let's see. We marked small bear, talked about accumulation distribution. I think this was a couple of things of this were important. Enigma is on fire. So we went back and we counted Enigmas. I'll give you the short play of this. If we went back and looked to the left, at that time, there were 9 winners in a row on Enigmas. Then 1 loser, then 6 winners in a row again. That was pretty awesome there this morning. Enigmas were on fire. AudioBox, sound of the market, accumulation distribution.
4.
I believe we did some draw ups on this. And what close to that prior in red. Us. What do we need? Nerd. Okay. I do think this is an important lesson. My best trades, if I want to filter for direction and know what. Let's get into some training time here at the end of this. I'm going to bring over Joseph James, if you guys know him from School of Trade. He is working on AlgoBox, and he is using AlgoBox in his trade room now with his members. Let's listen to Joe, and let's do. This is only 7 minutes, but let's walk through his trades as well. And I've got some comments along the way on his. Let's play.
Welcome back, folks. Wanted to replay a couple trades we found this morning in the members trade room. Had some great clues on the tick charts and a beautiful signal on the AlgoBox software. Let's dive right in, talk about how this trade set up and how we use the AlgoBox software to time almost a perfect entry this morning with our members. Now, first things first, you'll notice them here on the tick charts. There's two really big clues right now on the tick charts. One big clue is the strength of that move going higher. Look at that separation off the moving average. Anytime we see separation off the moving average, it tells us the buyers are very strong and all that momentum is going to want to pull back and retest that high. That's one big clue. But the biggest clue right now is that range. Anytime we see a convincing range breakout, we know breakout pullbacks are very, very high percentage trades. So that's the setup right now. Bullish overall on the NASDAQ, a breakout pullback off of this trading range. Now, that gives me my location. Once I get there, perfect, there we go. Now we're in the right location. Now let's shift our focus now, lower right-hand corner. This is called the MACV chart. MACV chart. I've got this kind of squished up there at the bottom to make it easier to record this video for you all right now. You'll notice there's a yellow band right in the middle. We call this the fiddle zone. I want to buy as momentum oscillates both above and below that yellow zone. You'll notice right now, as we pull back into that breakout pullback zone, look where we are. We're underneath that yellow band. Now, the trick to this is I want to see momentum begin to start to shift and go higher in my favor. And to do that, there's my signal right there. That little tiny arrow, that green arrow on the MACV chart, that tells me now momentum, I'm in the buy zone. Momentum is now shifting now in my favor. Now, final step is we now.
Okay, so I wanted to comment right here. So what's happening right here, that is also a play, okay? We have everything landing all right there together. That is a get ready. And what's the play? We have a super dot. This is called a super dot. And do we have a location along with it? We do. What is the structure? The structure is a channel, right? We have a structure. Do we have structure there? Yes. What's another structure we have? We have the green Fabella dot. I'll do it in blue here just to override that. Right there. We have a green dot right there with the ready DD. That makes it super. And we have the other structure there as well. And remember, a Fabella dot has multiples as well. That's multi-fib plus an Elliott wave. That's no small thing. A ready DD is also an order flow event. That is a double delta, right? Double boost. And it's big. That's the other thing. We already do all that filtering for you. So this play right here, if you can react out of it quick enough, again, today was so fast, so it's almost, I don't know if anybody could have reacted quick enough out of that. But from that play, even to the opposite side to that channel, this is at, let's see, 25,320. So we'll go 20 to 40. So that's 20 times 4. That's 80 ticks. 80 ticks. That's big money, right? Times $5 a tick. That is, trying to do some quick math on that. That's $400 for a single contract. On a full, that's going to be $1,600 for a play like that. Anyhow, just wanted to point that out. I don't think he hit in on that, but he's doing a great job teaching us through there. But I just wanted to add in that is a super dot long. Everybody type super dot, and remember, this is how we type it. Whenever it's a dot involved with ours, as you know, a lot of this here is for us teaching and training. This is a super dot, and let's make sure we spell it right. We do the TT. This actually is a kind of a nod to C++. If you've ever been this is for the nerds in the house, all right? C++, I think of the end of the T, they are coded. So this is a coded D-O-T-T. So this is actually kind of like this, D-O-T-T, okay? It is a nod to the nerd developers in the room like myself. Let's go. Let me give a shout out to the nerds. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So super dot is the play, spelled with 2 T's on purpose. So if you're like, oh, you misspelled it, Vinny. No, we didn't. That's how we spell it.
Go up to the entry time frame, the ripple charts, we call that in our trade room. On the entry time frame, there's 2 things I need. One is a structure level. That'll be a dot or a harmonic pattern. For example, right, that dot right there, right? That dot is a structure. So now think about this. I've got my breakout.
Now, don't be confused. We do want 2 things, but there's not only 2 things. He mentioned 2, so it can be a little bit confusing. There are other things, like another structure would be, we could have a wedge. We could have a channel. There are other items in there, but our primaries for AlgoBox is going to be Fabella dot or the harmonic. So correct on that. We're looking for our 2 things. Let's listen in.
breakout pullback zone, key level. My arrow says momentum is moving in my direction now. There we go. There's my fib dot, a Fibella dot. This is a confluence dot, right? It basically shows confluence of Fibonacci and Elliott wave. That is short-term structure. Back-to-back Fibella dots right now.
Yes. Now remember, just in case anybody needs to know, each one of these, it's not one fib level. It requires, we have an absolute requirement, and there can be more, which is what ends up shifting, one of the things that shifts the colors of these to tell you how powerful they are. But you always have to have at least 2 fib levels laying in the same place. And believe it or not, there are some players out there, some traders that only use that. They'll draw Fibonacci's all over their screens, and whenever 2 of them land on each other, that's what they enter on. Like that's a strategy out there. If you go look up Fibonacci players, they love it when 2 Fibonacci's lay up, and that's fine. It's a good strategy. That's why I adopt part of it. We'll add that. That's one component, but we have even more than that. We have multi-fib plus Elliott wave. And this one ends up being all kinds. This is like having at least 4 scenarios all landing right here when you have the double dot coming in there. Just want to make that note that our Fibella dot, a dot, it itself is multi-structure confluence. It is a complex structure of multi-fib landings and Elliott waves, 2-legged moves.
Final step is an order flow signal. It's a cross. Okay, there's 2 types of crosses. There are simple Flowmaster crosses, and there are the granddaddies, the Alpha Omega crosses. My finger now is on the button to be a buyer on this. Again, replaying this trade we saw and took this morning in the morning trade room. I'm at the breakout pullback zone. I got my arrow on the MACD chart, my structure on the entry time frame. All I need now is a big obvious cross, and that will tell me when I have an order flow event. Basically, when velocity, when the buyers are outpacing the sellers. There it is right there, easy to see. I'll press the buy button. Now, I always go for a 40 tick first target and then move that stop up to my point of entry. There you go.
Okay, now he's looking for a 40 tick for his target 1. That's good, actually, because he's on the 6s. Notice something that is different. Again, I run on 4s and 6s. Oftentimes, I do have a 6 chart. He is 2 layers up bigger than what I've got on mine. If you guys are seeing me in the live streams, you'll see me on the 4s a lot. I do have a 6s off on the side. He's actually, this is his primary entry on the 6s, so he can go to a larger target. His T1 can be larger. So his target 1 is a 40 tick target off of the 6s. So in case don't be confused, it's just, I have told you guys there are multiple ways to use our system depending on your speed and your flexibility and what you want for your trading. Okay, so he takes off target 1 there at his 40 ticks. Looks like he is using the ATM. So let's roll back here 1 second here on this, because I did have one item that we might want to adjust for here on this. Let's get our stop to the proper location. Now, I think he has in his ATM, he has it programmed where when it hits his target, it automatically puts it up. For me, I want to give the trade, especially on as big a plays as he's looking for, because he is looking for bigger play setups, which is great. Love that he's doing that. One thing I would do is give myself a little bit more room and put my stop down here below this cross. So you'll learn this in our training. I put the stops behind a dot, a box, or a cross, especially when I'm running things like off of the 6s or a higher time frame. I want to make sure that I'm locking in those stops. Now, so there's nothing wrong with doing this, and I think it's doing entry +1, so he's grabbing 1 tick out of that. But that's still a lot of ticks going in on there. I believe this comes back and stops out. If you'll see me play this, you'll see me oftentimes put the stop behind the cross if I'm using an ATM.
Stop moves up to point of entry. Remember that strong run up. I'm trying to go back to retest the high, so I'll always leave that runner. 40 tick target, nice quick first target hits. Stop moves up automatically to the point of entry. And don't forget, we'll give you all the ATM strategies. That's kind of the easy part. Get those stops moved the right way. All right, knocked out of that trade for a 40 tick first target and stopped out entry +1. Now, remember, I'm still in a good spot for this. I'm still in a good location to be buying. But how do I know when I can start buying? I need to look over at the MACD chart right now and get us where? Get us outside of that fiddle zone. I got to get below that yellow rectangle down there. So as we start to see it hold off this area, my focus right now is on that lower right-hand chart here, because you'll notice that momentum will swing. It'll swing back and forth like this. Okay, here we go. Look closely now. You'll notice right away. You can see now we're underneath that fiddle zone now. What I'm hoping for now is momentum now will shift. We'll get that green arrow off of that low. And literally all I'm doing right now is perfect. There we go. Momentum goes below the fiddle zone. My green arrow is right there. Now, my final step for entry up on the higher time frame. What do we need again? We need 2 things: structure and an order flow event. Structure could be, for example, the low of that channel level right there. It's oftentimes a dot, a Fibella dot, or a harmonic pattern. I'm now waiting for a clue for structure. And again, you'll see it show up right there. There you go, right there. Nice big green dot right there. Fibonacci and Elliott wave confirms. Final step here right now is the order flow cross. Again, that big white cross that we saw earlier. Once I see my cross, my finger is on the button. And tomorrow morning, you're gonna hear me say, get ready, right? Order ready, finger on the trigger. And again, I've got my mouse over the buy button right now. I'm waiting for that flow master cross. And once I see it, I'll pull the trigger here because this is a great spot to get long. We're at the breakout pullback zone with my cross right there. Cross hits. I love those crosses. They're so easy to see. And remember, we're using this in combination, right? 40 tick first target. Leave that final target to the high. There you go. First target hits.
Okay, so the only thing I would, again, roll back on that is if you guys are running this, if it's me, I want to, it stops pretty far down here. Just in general with our system, again, stops behind a cross, dot, box, or a cross. So for the ticks on this, so a stop behind a cross, remember these are actually relative. That's what, because you're like, well, how many ticks is that? I could just set it to the tick. This, the beauty of our system is depending on which bar size that you are on, the cross will adjust its size for you. The appropriate stop out for the sixes are right below this cross. So you don't have to lay it like right on it. You could do 1 tick, maybe 2 ticks, but the idea is to have it like right there back behind the cross. So for this one, if he's entered in on a 35.3225, although again, the ideal, the test is from here to here. This is really the risk, and we are looking for those targeted rewards up above. But so that's all I was gonna say with that is stop goes behind the cross. Here we go. Right,
40 tick first target. Leave that final target to the high. There you go. First target hits pretty quickly. And now all we're doing is we're waiting to get, stopped out there at the point of entry.
Now, what's interesting is I believe this ends up running. Let's see.
Again. So 2 quick scalps this morning in the morning trade room on the first test, on the second test. Remember those 4 steps. First step, find the levels with me on the tick chart. Second step, get the MACV chart to swing under that low. And the third and fourth steps are structure and an order flow event on the MACV chart. Unfortunately, this morning got bounced out before I made that run back up again. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And by the way, if you like this kind of stuff, I will drop a...
Yeah, so this thing runs and runs and runs. So that's where, you know, if that stop had been back behind that cross area, you know, so sometimes you'll choke out your trade. And again, like there's no perfect way you to play every time. You know, the market could sometimes work really well for that, but that's one where you saw it kind of, okay, you get T1, you get your 40 bag, and then it comes back and stuff. But that's going to work a lot. So you might want to consider or play it several times, and then whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to put your stop back behind the cross like I would, or if you like locking in, I think it's a comfort. It's very comforting to feel, you know, whenever that stop moves up into your, you know, above your point of entry, that's oftentimes very like personally satisfying. You're like, you know, everybody says no risk trade now, so that's fine. But you'll see, you know, a lot of times you miss out on these big moves. I mean, that is a huge move up and out of there, and I don't know if we get to see how far this ends up going. But I mean, look, price is like launching off the screen on him up here. It went so high right after it came back, stopped him out, you know, kind of to the tick, and then makes a run. But beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Love, he's teaching really well on it. Great teacher. You guys follow Joseph James. If you're not following him already, go hit the button right there. Go follow Joseph James over there at School of Trade. Awesome teacher, and one of my mentors.
A special link for you down below.
From back in the
this
day.
Video for a 2-week free trial of AlgoBox. Check it out if you enjoy these types of videos. And by the way, make sure you subscribe because we have some exciting new updates coming to all the followers on this channel. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed tonight. We'll see you guys next one.
Yeah, look at all those bars. Those bars were printing and going and going and going out there. Beautiful stuff. Now, on those, the 2 things that you need for our entries, people come to our system oftentimes, and it is about like, I don't know, it seems too complicated. Folks, if you can count to 2, I think you can do this. 2s. 2 things. Now, one of the things that, you know, he's drilling in on some structure items. If you follow me in the room, yes, we do structure along with that. However, that nerd, right? I don't know if he's incorporated that yet. Again, he's still kind of new to our system. He started looking at our stuff. Well, he said he looked at stuff like sometime last year, but I really think he started kind of really getting into our thing here in November. So he's only a couple months in with us. You become an absolute master at our system at around the 6-month mark. There's kind of 3 points that you'll have these eureka moments. At day 90, you will have this light bulb moment. At 90 days, you're like, oh, something clicks, and you're like, oh, it's the 2-step. Okay, I need a structure and an R2FA event, and I'm just going to look for that as I go. I want the arrow with me. So around the 90-day mark, at the 120-day mark, you start just feeling very comfortable in your seat, and then at 6 months, you're going to sit there and go, dude, I am boss level. You're like, I got this. You're ready to come teach the class usually around the 6-month mark. Now, you're like, well, I don't got 6 months to learn this. Okay, well, how about you just come follow along in a live stream and learn these 2 steps. 1, nerd. get the nerd with you. 2, that arrow that JJ was also talking about there. Once you have those, now you have your direction. Hover your finger over whatever color that is. If they're both green, hover over the buy button. If they're both red, hover them over the red. Now, if you want to even narrow it down even farther and simplify your trading even farther, you can be like me. You personally choose whether you want to be a bull or a bear, and only hover your mouse over those and get really good at those sets of hotkeys and be they say jack of all trades, master of none. Or you can be a master of one. Which side? For me, I'm more of a bear. Now, it's not that I don't take the long side. You will see me take some long side plays. But in general, I'm going to be targeting mentally on that bear side. I have become a master at the bear side. I don't care if it is a market that's going straight up. I can take my plays in the opposite direction when the play setups show up. Striking at target 1, being a scalper, target 1, but they happen fast. It's like I'm collecting my checks quickly, right? Okay, so nerd plus arrow, let's walk through this lesson. Whether or not I've got a higher statistical odd in my favor, because again, everything is here about is stats. Nothing is absolute. However, if I put it into my mind that my standard operating procedure says I do not take a play against these, you will find yourself on the right side of trades and bigger trades with this very simple rule. These two together, just combine them, see what happens. Okay, now people have asked, how do I do this in market replay? This is the only thing that you can't do in market replay is the nerd. But I say this, if you use the local arrow and still just go in the direction of that arrow, it's great practice for you, because once you come into the live markets where you have the MACV Ultimate with you in your live trading, when you have, it's like a baseball player when they're swinging with a heavy bat before they step up to the plate. It is harder in your market replay where you only have the capacity of the arrow, but you're mentally preparing yourself to go, yes, I know I got the arrow, I want to go in the direction of the arrow. However, in live market conditions, when you have the additional help, I won't say help, but the extra crutch, the extra cheat, if you will, having the MACV Ultimate that we provide there in Discord, going in real time, being able to combine these two is going to be huge. That's 2. Then what are the other 2 things? Once you have those 2, I've got 2 more things for you that work in 2s. And it's not like, well, aren't you going to more, Vinny? You got 2, then you really need 4 things? Here, you'll follow with me on this. Now, what do I need the 2 things for an actual entry? So this tells me my direction. So before I want to take an entry,
Short on the YM2.
you guys know where I'm going with this? You've been around a while, I bet you do. We want 2 things. There it is. There's your 2 things. This will simplify everything you do here. For the people who have been around a while, or if you're brand new and you're like, this seems too complicated, it's literally 2 things. Okay. Now, these 2 things, these will actually show up for you. This is all going to be done for you. You just need to memorize the things that are on the cheat sheet. So once we have my direction, you've heard me here this morning. I'm like, well, I've either got the nerd with me or I say the nerd's against me. Now, if I'm going to take a play against one of these, so the question mark comes in, that when you say, well, Vinny, what do I do where I've seen you trade something where the nerd was green, but you still took a short? If I do take a play against one of these, then I am looking for target 1 only. So just expect it to be just a very tight scalp, target 1. Now, how do I estimate target 1? This is in our training. We'll talk to you about which AB you're entering in on. The AB being the algo bar. Which algo bar size are you entering in on? Right now, the market speed and on the NASDAQ accommodates a 4 or a 6. So if you have been following along, you heard. All right, I want to reiterate that point that I was talking this morning, because you saw JJ. Let's see, who was paying attention? What AB size is Joseph James using? Pop quiz. Lock it in. What algo bar size is Joseph James from School of Trade using? Type it there in the chat. Yes, you should be typing 6s. That's right. What about me? What am I doing in the morning session? What's my bar size? Type it there in the chat. 4s. That's right. You guys give yourself a gold star. Now, which is there one that's right or wrong? No, but you'll notice, what's my target, right? Is my target 40 ticks? No. Did you notice what Joseph James is doing? His first target is 40, right? His first target is my target too. So while he may have less plays, he has bigger plays, right? And so vice versa. I have more play setups, but I have to, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of up to you. Do you want to do more, smaller, or do you want to do less, bigger? Kind of up to you. And some days, I mean, I have sat on the 6s before and like waited like a long time. I'm like, man, there's no play setup. So for me, my personality favors a little bit more, and me having that filter ability. And remember, for me, what I have found is, as long as I wait for these 2 things and have them with me, waiting around for the nerd plus the arrow, then looking for my 2 things. Remember, it's 2s. It's literally 2, folks. Anybody who thinks it's too complicated, I do believe that you can handle 2. That is my personal belief. I think 2. Just remember, it's 2. Okay, that's it. 2. You can do it. I think you can do it. Sets of 2s. I will see you there tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you are having any issues, just come on in and be like, hey, you know what? If you get hung up, I'll be there with you every step of the way. Mentorship Mondays. I forgot. Like, I feel like today is a Monday because it is a holiday. So it's a Tuesday, but it felt like a Monday. So we went over a little bit more here today. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in the live streams. I will see you there. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.
The old adage where, the individual investor doesn't have a chance because the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, more money and better opportunity, I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investor because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use, in fact, they have double front-end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us. You just play the game.